I have a new printer. It was a Christmas present, an HP printer. So thank you, Dad. He did a good job finding this printer. He looked for one that had features that he knew I could use, and he also honed in on this one because of the 6 months of free ink. And I was already vaguely familiar with Instant Ink, at least from name recognition. However, during setup, I was informed of something new, HP Plus, which was required to get that 6 months of free ink. Now, I'm a tech-savvy guy. I've done tech support for many years of my life. I've developed software before, but never would I have ever thought that a simple printer setup would have become stressful. Enter HP Plus. Accept HP Plus, get 6 months of free ink and some other features, decline it, and never be able to get it again. Heavy stuff and a dilemma made stressful due to the lack of information about what HP Plus actually is. And that is how this video was born, and I'm now going to tell you what I now know about HP Plus in the hopes that you can make your own informed decisions. Let's head over to HP's HP Plus webpage and see what they have to say about the product. Your printer is smarter with HP Plus? Okay, that sounds good. They go on to list 4 key aspects of the service, or program, or membership, or subscription. I'm still not really sure what name to call it. One consistency throughout, though, the mention of the 6 free months worth of Instant Ink with activation. Now the 4 main points, starting with stay connected, making the printer a smart printer, which is kind of okay. You'll see that blurs a line in just a moment. Further blurred with this, the Smart Ink subscription, because that's HP's Instant Ink, which is its own standalone product, but it gets confusing. Is it standalone or is it part of HP Plus? Get more done in the Smart app. With HP Plus, there are extra features in the already available Smart app, just more smart. There's also a very vague sustainability element to HP Plus about protecting forests. So HP Plus is 4 key features that sound a lot like some of the base printer features, and then Instant Ink, which is already its own product, but they overlap. And what you just saw is far more detailed than the simple paragraph description that I got during setup, asking me if I want to opt in now or not, and there's no do-overs. Get it right or regret your decision. And there's so much overlap between the 2 programs, but I want that 6 months of free ink. And other than that ink, what am I going to gain from HP Plus? And also, what am I going to have to give up by being part of HP Plus? Let me pause here and take just a moment to discuss Instant Ink on its own as a standalone product, just so we're all on the same page. Instant Ink is HP's official subscription ink service. For a low monthly price, you never run out of ink. Ink cartridges automatically shipped as needed. The printer, it monitors levels, you just subscribe, and it's all taken care of for you. And you never have to worry about ink volume again because every page counts as the same, meaning if you print one page with a single character on it, that's the same as a full page full color print. And the pricing for Instant Ink, I'm going to give HP credit here, they really got this right. Ultra flexible and affordable options as low as 99 cents per month. So if you're like me and you typically only print a few pages a month, the 10 pages per month plan, 99 cents. Need a little more? How about 50 pages per month for under $4? The plans scale all the way up to business printing levels, 700 pages per month for only $24.99. And what if you run into a point where you need an extra few pages on your monthly plan? 10 more pages, $1. There's also rollover pages for each plan. For my particular plan, I can roll over up to 30 pages over 3 months. Instant Ink is a standalone product, for me, impressive and impressively affordable. I looked up prices for ink cartridges, and high-yield ink cartridges over $52 for a set of black and color. And for me, I'm always apprehensive about using up my ink, so I try to use it sparingly, and I end up having cartridges that dry up rather than being used up. So for me, I really like that 99 cent a month option. Instant Ink, a standalone product, but also part of HP Plus. Let me break down the separation as best I can, and hopefully in the process you'll gain an understanding of what HP Plus actually is and what accepting it means in the long run. I found this nifty comparison on HP's website, and it clearly shows what you get without HP Plus, meaning just the printer, the features you get with it, what can it do. Instant Ink is available, no need for HP Plus, just for Instant Ink. It's also technically a smart printer already because it gets a smart app. Instant Ink subscribers also get free cartridge recycling, and the printer comes with a 1-year warranty. Subscribe to Instant Ink or not, you have the option to use HP cartridges or aftermarket cartridges if that's your thing. Now let's compare that same printer with HP Plus activated. If accepted at setup, and remember there is no going back once HP Plus is accepted, some of the features include cloud connectivity, meaning remote printing, and there's also a security monitoring. Another part of the smart features, it will auto-update itself. Accepting Plus is required to get that 6 months of free ink. That's 700 pages per month. Again, this is part of Plus. You don't get it without accepting Plus. And it works. I'm on the 99-cent 10 pages per month plan, but because I have the free 6 months, I used 95 pages last month for free. Now, there are caveats to some of these free features, big ones, and they're coming. With HP Plus, the Smart app, it's the same app, but it gets more features. Add-ons like mobile fax, the ability to scan through the app, and also with the cloud computing, I can print, say, 1,000 miles from home and do so privately. My print job will sit in the printer spool, and it'll detect when I walk into the room and then print the document. But one of those caveats applies to this as well. First though, some of the other features, like the sustainability, and this is an initiative that's supposed to, I think, pay for forests to offset the printing. There's a section for this in the app, and so far mine has always said 0, but I think that's a good thing. HP Plus also offers a free doubling of the printer's warranty, up to 2 years from 1 year. Definitely some good about HP Plus, but those caveats, let's get to those. One of them is that by accepting HP Plus, it locks the printer, meaning it will only use HP cartridges from that point forward. Without official HP ink, it becomes a brick. Decline the HP Plus coverage and any ink is fine. There's also the requirement that the printer be connected to the internet at all times, and that's because with HP Plus, the printer is monitored. And to me, those are some big caveats, big decisions, so you can see where I was overwhelmed, presented with this for the first time and not knowing what I've just shown you. But don't let me paint a negative picture because there are benefits, like the 2-year warranty, it's saving forests as it prints. There's also the expanded functionality of the Smart app, only with HP Plus, though that Smart app expandability, that's only for 2 years. The 6 months of free ink gained by accepting all of this, that's the $24.99 plan, 700 pages a month. The question is, and this is going to be personal, is HP being an angel? Are they giving some good things for small trade-offs? Or are the trade-offs too much to ask? A potentially monitored connection, the ink being free, but to the point that you can only use HP ink from the second you sign up. Depending upon your perspective, it's either something great or something to run from. I see more good than bad. I like the features, but let me put on a tinfoil hat for just a moment and consider some other things. You may have heard the old adage that if you're getting something for free, then you are the commodity. In our current world, to many people, your data is worth more than you are, and there's that securely monitored connection that raises privacy concerns, or at least the tinfoil hat perception of privacy concerns. Next, the requirement that locks the printer to HP-only inks. Now, the good side of that is that official inks promote longevity. I've personally destroyed printers with aftermarket cartridges. However, there may be an ulterior motive here because printer companies have been trying for years to make aftermarket or refill cartridges illegal. By getting customers to willingly opt out on their own accord of using any other cartridges, that could limit competition, which could increase prices, and we see who that would benefit. Now, an argument could be made that Instant Ink would offset that, but it would also give the manufacturer the opportunity to force obsolescence by no longer making the cartridges that are the only thing that would work in the printer. So to sum it up, without HP Plus, there is Instant Ink. With HP Plus, you get Instant Ink, but you're locked to HP cartridges. For that trade-off, HP is giving you 6 free months of ink cartridges, and that's 700 pages worth a month. HP Plus also grants the extra features in the Smart app. Now, one thing about that's for 2 years. What happens after that 2 years? Who knows? I would suspect that the reason Instant Ink and HP Plus are 2 separate products is that they fully intend to charge for HP Plus after 2 years. HP, if you are watching, now I'm willing to make some of those trade-offs. I mean, I accepted HP Plus and I like it. I love the printer. Great job all the way around, but I would not pay for HP Plus after 2 years. There's just not enough value add for it to be its own subscription service, and to be honest, if it didn't come with the 6 free months of ink, I doubt I would have accepted it. The Instant Ink program on its own, however, keep doing what you're doing there and don't change those prices. It is absolutely perfect. Getting back to the features, there's one last feature, and this isn't documented anywhere that I've seen, but when I joined HP Plus, an extra option came up. I get 15 pages per month for 99 cents rather than the standard 10 pages, and also there's an extra 1,500 pages per month option. It's only $49.99, and I did some math on that using the XL, the high capacity cartridges. Those are around $30 per cartridge, which equals roughly 15 cents per page. That $49.99 Instant Ink plan would print the same number of pages for only 3 cents per page. That's an 80% decrease in cost. My measly 99-cent a month plan is only 6 cents per page, a 60% savings. Instant Ink a hands down winner. Now HP Plus, I joined, and I'm happy that I did, though after 2 years, we'll see. But for now, I'm content with the trade-offs, and hopefully I've given you enough information to make your own decision. An informed decision. Now I'd like to share with you my experience with my first shipment from Instant Ink. Let's just see what comes in the box. The box itself, nice. I was expecting a padded envelope, but I get an HP Instant Ink branded box, Instant Ink on the inside lid, and a nice introductory flyer. Full color, thanks me for signing up, and it's more marketing fluff. Lets me know that the Instant Ink program is affordable and that it's easy, and that the printer takes care of ordering and monitoring for me. Also, that I can change my plan whenever I want to. Cartridge recycling, you'll see the bag in a moment. $1 for an extra 10 printed pages. The referral program, 1 month for the person I refer, 1 month for me. A link down in the description if you want to take advantage of that. And a reminder, and it's listed as important, as part of HP Plus, I agreed to keep the printer connected to the internet. Under the intro flyer, the recycle bag. Now, one note on this recycle bag, it says to hold it until you have 7 or 8 cartridges. Send it back only when it's full, not one cartridge at a time. And here are the cartridges, one black, one color. Instant Ink cartridges, ultra yield. A new audio setup, but I want to add this on because I think I've established that at least I am a fan of HP's Instant Ink, and as long as they keep it affordable, I'm kind of maybe an HP guy now. Historically, I have not been an Epson or Brother printer fan, but I do like Instant Ink. And this is the original cartridge that came out of my printer. You see, I've already used my Ultra Yield cartridge and has printed way more than any cartridge that I've ever had. I'm talking full page color stuff. And you see, I've still got this one, which I need to put in now. I'm about to put this in. This is my new High Yield, because I was still running the original. But I came into a point where I started wondering something. Because I had about half a cartridge full of color, and then I started printing full page, full color. Well, I'm printing the Ukrainian flag for friends and family, and I think I printed about 30 of them, and I started watching the ink levels drop. And I got my notification. I was doing this all in one evening, and I got my notification that I was getting a new cartridge sent from HP for the color. I already had the black, but it was getting low, so I knew I was going to need to replace that, but I hadn't got the alert yet. And I have my new package here, my new shipment, so I'm curious if this is going to have 2 cartridges or 1 cartridge. But it made me start thinking. I think there is a possibility where even though you are an Instant Ink subscriber, you could run into a scenario where you still run out of ink and need to buy some periodically. And the reason I say that is because let's just say you had your Ultra Yield cartridge and it was half full like mine is, and then maybe you have a child that has a school project coming up. Well, maybe you need to print hundreds of pages of full color stuff. Not that out of the realm if you have a child in school. Could need to print a lot. But let's say you do, and your ink cartridge, you deplete it. Well, it took 7 days from the point that I got the notification that I was getting a new cartridge to replace my color that was getting low, and that's this shipment. So 7 days, let's say, you had a couple of 100 pages or whatever to print, and you only got a quarter of the way into that and ran out of ink. It would take 7 days before I got any more ink with Instant Ink, so I may have to run down to the store and buy an ink cartridge. And of course, being HP Plus, I would have to get an HP branded cartridge. Not a big deal for me, but it's something to note. But also, I started wondering, I haven't used this yet. And I purposely, as I mentioned, ran this down, the black. I printed black stuff, black pages of just junk, trying to print to see if I could print out. And by the way, the cartridges that came with the printer, way more pages printed than I've ever had on any that shipped with the printer cartridge. But I started wondering, since I hadn't reached the point when I got the shipment for the new printer cartridge, hadn't reached the point yet that it told me to put this cartridge in, would they send only a color cartridge, or would I get two? Now, two would make sense because they're kind of killing two birds with one stone, and you could build up a little bit of a reserve. So I'm curious. Let's open this up. We're gonna see this together. And by the way, we even got a little Instant Ink logo there. And I thought that I would get the first box that was all branded. Oh, look, it's branded on every corner. Didn't notice that. I thought I would get the first branded box and then it would just be a generic bag of cartridges or something. But let's open this up and see. Nope, not two. They only sent the one color, a new color Ultra Yield. And then this insert tells me when it's low. Yeah, and this is another thing. They say please insert your Instant Ink cartridge only when your printer tells you that it's very low of ink or if print quality declines. Now, interesting thing about that, I never received a very low ink on this black when I ran it out. It wasn't until I received notices that it was low on ink, but not very low. And it clearly says very low right there. And it wasn't until I had completely expended the cartridge that in the app, when I logged into the app, and the printer won't even print because it was completely out, then I got a notice that it was very low. So interesting wording there. Maybe HP needs to do some adjustment there. But not very friendly environmentally to send a shipment with only one. I would think they should go ahead and send two so you could build up. But I guess maybe they don't want someone to cancel and then have a lot of extra ink. But these high yield cartridges, very impressive. Let's open this one. Actually, I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut in here. I'm going to go get the other cartridge out so we can compare them side to side, see if there's any size difference physically. Now, this is interesting. Look at this. This is the black cartridge that I just pulled out of the printer, the one that came with the printer. And it shows 67, which is the standard cartridge, and I think those are about $23 or $24. And then it shows the 67XL. Those are about $30. That's the high yield. But look at that. 67XXL, possibly the ultra yield that they ship, that's I thought was exclusive to Instant Ink. So let's see, just out of curiosity. Yeah, see, this one only says 67 or 67XL, which is the high yield. All right, so let's open this up and let's see. Open this up and see if they're physically any different and how this one is labeled. And by the way, that locking you out when you're an HP Plus, to only being able to use HP cartridges, that's both the chip on these cartridges and then in your printer. It will only allow it to use things identified as HP. Yeah, look at that. That's different. 67/305. So there we go. That's what you get black-wise. You see I've got it all over my fingers. 67/305 is the part number for the Ultra Yield, which is part of the Instant Ink cartridges. And as far as I know, you can't buy these in the store. Ultra Yield, they do print a lot. So there we go, Instant Ink. I appreciate you watching. I hope this helps you out. A link down in the description if you are an HP printer owner that is capable of Instant Ink. You're thinking about signing up. We might as well both get a free month, so check that out. But thank you so much. I hope this helps you out. If you have any questions about Instant Ink and more importantly, what HP Plus is, because that was very confusing to me with the setup. They didn't really do a good job explaining. And I understand they're kind of in a transition point. I hope that they don't start charging for HP Plus, but we'll see what happens. I have 2 years. So we'll see. But thank you so much for watching KevReviews. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. I hope you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell, all that stuff. Another addendum here, I might as well mention this. Recently, I noticed in the app that they've added a new paper plan that corresponds with my Instant Ink plan. Now remember, I'm on the 99-cent a month 15-page plan. I think that 15 is up from the 10 just because I'm HP Plus. But they now have a paper plan. And with my 15-page per month plan, I could get 79 cents a month for paper. And they would send me a ream of paper, and as far as I understand, this is the exact ream that I would get. Multi-purpose, because it mentioned the 20-pound, 96 brightness, 500. It was HP paper, so I think this is it. But I added it up, and that would basically mean that I would be spending a nickel per page to print. And this, I just bought this ream for $7, and I think it was $7.77 or something like that. But under $8, it's less than a cent, or actually around a cent, a little over a cent, I believe. So 1 penny versus 5 cents. So I don't think they've got their paper subscription price as part of Instant Ink down yet, but the Instant Ink side definitely good. Anyway, just thought I would add that on. Thanks for watching.